Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bold and Beautiful. Today, Dylan and Will are getting along well, which is making Steffi think that Elektra has some reasons to feel bad about Dylan. Elektra was really worried. She left in a hurry, but Dylan did not care about the things she said she would do because Will wanted her to take care of Hayes with him. In San Francisco, Elektra and Steffi had a conversation about all the things they have been doing together. They think they can get a lot of money from people. Steffi told Elektra that she is happy for her and that she is having a time with Elektra. Elektra is happy too. She is really enjoying the time she spends with Steffi and the work they are doing. Elektra and Steffi are having a time. Finn calls Steffi to say that he had to take Hayes to Will and Dylan's place. This is because one of his patients got very sick. Elektra looks really worried about this. Steffi says she can come home, but Finn tells her that everything will be okay. When Steffi gets off the phone, Elektra asks her if Hayes is really at Dylan and Will's place. At the beach house, Hayes is having fun with Dylan and Will. They are making puppets out of paper bags. Dylan says, "Hey, I can take Hayes to my place and we can get a snack." Hayes says no, he wants to stay at the beach house with them. Dylan looks really worried. Will tells her that everything is going to be okay. They move to the side. Dylan tells Will that she has all the stuff they need for ants on a log at her house. Will says that Elektra will know they were just taking care of Hayes. Hayes starts talking about pepperoni. Then Elektra calls Will. Will thinks that everything will be fine for her. He tells her that Hayes is with them. He puts the phone on speaker so Steffi can talk to her son. Steffi tells Hayes to be good. Dylan gets on the phone when they go off speaker. Dylan tells her that Dylan wants to respect her wishes. Elektra says she understands this. Then Elektra asks to speak to Will. Will tells Elektra to come soon because Will misses Elektra. The kids get back to playing with Hayes. They play a game of Go Fish. Finn calls Dylan and the kids to tell them how much Finn appreciates what Dylan and the kids are doing. Hayes tells Dylan and the kids that they are people. Hayes wishes that Dylan was still his teacher. The kids hug Hayes. Dylan says that they can paint Hayes' rocket now. Hayes says to Will that he really wishes he could see Dylan every day. Will smiles back at Hayes. Then Will asks Dylan how she is so good with kids. Dylan says she loves to see things the way kids do. It is like everything is new and exciting. She likes to look at the world through their eyes. Dylan talks about when she went to art school, it was very expensive for her. Dylan also says that dance makes her happy. It is like her place. When Dylan says that dance is her place, Hayes and Will ask her if she will dance with them. Dylan says it is not a time to dance right now. Dylan says maybe they can dance later. Dylan are playing with the kid and they are laughing and smiling at each other. The kid is having much fun. At the Forrester showroom, Carter is with Daphne. He smells the new perfume she is wearing. He kisses Daphne. Tells her that her perfume smells amazing just like she does. Carter thinks that all the men in Paris are going to be heartbroken that Daphne is wearing the ring he gave her. Daphne is really happy. Her heart is full of love for Carter. She tells Carter that she loves him much. Carter says that he would have gone all the way to Paris to be with Daphne because he does not want to be without her. He loves Daphne. He would do anything to keep her. He is sure when he looks at her and he can see them waking up together every day and having a child. She reminds him that many men have wanted to marry her. This woman used to have flings. She has always known that he would be more than that for her. Things were complicated when they met. She was scared of her feelings for him and losing herself in the process. He hopes that his love for her can help this woman shine brighter. He wants his love for this woman to make her happy. He wants to be with this woman forever. Back in San Francisco, Dottie Bright and Joseph Beasley get together with Steffi and Elektra to discuss designs. Joseph Beasley talks to Elektra. Thinks she is really great for giving them sparkling wine from her own vineyard. They show Dottie Bright one of the designs they have made. Joseph Beasley takes a look at it and then Dottie Bright puts it on, asking Joseph Beasley if the design is really good. Joseph Beasley says Dottie Bright looks amazing, she has not left anything out. Dottie Bright loves the way the design sparkles. When Steffi and Elektra leave, Joseph Beasley and Dottie Bright raise their glasses to celebrate the sale of the design. Steffi gets a note from Finn about Hayes still being with Will and Dylan. She notices Elektra seems worried. Elektra admits it's silly but explains she asked Dylan to stay in her apartment. She trusts Will and Dylan, but something about them being alone together feels wrong. Steffi says her feelings are valid. Elektra is sure she can trust Dylan. Will. Dylan are getting close to each other. They do not really know how to deal with these feelings. Will. Dylan are not ready for what is happening between them. The change starts slowly. After all the things that happened, the accusations, the fear, the close calls and the things that were not said, Will thinks that the only way to move on is to be open with each other. He tells himself that if he can just be honest with Dylan about what's going on between them and get rid of all the secrets and confusion, then maybe the weird feeling between them will finally go away. Dylan sees a chance to make things better, so she agrees to do this. She seems calmer and more thoughtful and even sorry for what she did. Will. Dylan are trying to make their relationship better. The crazy ups and downs are gone. Now things are calm. People really get each other. They want to do things. Will is still feeling bad about what happened. He feels responsible. He really wants to think that she is being honest with him. Will wants to believe that people can stop themselves from doing something when they see how much trouble they are in. He wants to think that people can change when they realize they have gone far with the bad things they do. The way Dylan and Will bond does not seem weird at first. They have conversations about things like feeling sorry for something, being lonely and feeling like nobody sees them. Dylan talks about her past. How she often feels like she does not fit in, like she is always close to being happy but never gets picked. Will listens to her. Nods his head because he knows how she feels. He hears things in her words that read like the things he is afraid of. Then Will shares his feelings, like how hard it is for him to be loyal and honest, at the same time, and how frustrated he gets when people do not understand him. When they talk like that, Dylan and Will really connect. It is not about being passionate, not yet, but it is about having understanding. People want to feel like someone is actually listening to them. That feeling in a lot of ways is really scary. The fact that someone is hearing what the people have to say, that is what is really dangerous, because it is about the understanding of the people. Elektra notices the change immediately. The thing is, Will talks about Dylan a lot more now. And it is not just that he mentions Dylan often, it is the way he says it. He sounds softer when he says Dylan's name. He sounds more protective of Dylan. It is like Will is trying to defend Dylan without realizing it. At first, Elektra thinks to herself that she is just imagining things. She does not want to be one of those people who gets jealous all the time. She wants to be able to trust Will. She still feels weird about it. This feeling settles in her chest. It gets worse every day. Elektra thinks about Dylan and how Will is acting around him. She thinks about how Will's always talking about Dylan and it makes her feel uneasy. The feeling of unease is always there. It is growing heavier each day when she thinks about Will and Dylan. She notices how Will's face lights up when he talks to Dylan. He looks really unsure of himself when their plans get changed. He even takes a while to answer questions. What bothers her the most is that she knows this feeling. It is the feeling that something big is going on. She is not a part of it. The feeling that something important is happening with Will and Dylan and she is not included. When Elektra finally talks to Steffi, she does it because she really has to. Elektra does not want to seem like she is making a deal out of nothing. She is afraid that Steffi will not take her seriously. All Elektra wants to know is if she is just being paranoid. Steffi pays attention to what Elektra is saying. She looks very serious. Asks Elektra good questions. Steffi does not cut Elektra off. She does not make Elektra feel like her feelings are not important. And when Elektra is done talking, her voice is trembling because she is scared that she is losing her boyfriend. Elektra tells Steffi that she feels like she is being pushed out of her relationship. Then Steffi says something that completely changes everything for Elektra and her relationship. She says to her, "You are not imagining this." She also says, "You are not wrong to feel uncomfortable about the situation, with the things that are happening." That validation really hits Elektra like a wave. Elektra has been telling herself for weeks that she is not secure and that she is overreacting. Now Elektra hears Steffi say the thing. Steffi is someone who has been through a lot of relationships and emotional manipulation. So when Steffi confirms Elektra's fears, it's a relief to Elektra, but it is also very sad for Elektra. Steffi tells Elektra that bonding with someone does not have to be physical to be bad for Elektra. If Elektra shares feelings with someone in secret, or if it hurts the main relationship Elektra has with someone else, then it can be just as bad for Elektra. When you start to feel like you do not belong, Steffi says you have to listen. This is the moment you need to pay attention to what's going on around the people and things that make you feel like an outsider. Steffi warns that the moment you start feeling like an outsider is the moment you need to pay attention to your feelings and the things that are happening. Will, Dylan are getting closer. They keep looking for each other, not on purpose. It just happens that way. They will have a cup of coffee and the next thing you know they have been talking for an hour. They send each other a text message and it turns into a long conversation that goes late into the night. They share thoughts with each other that they do not feel sharing with anyone else. Dylan thinks this is helping him get better. Will thinks this is helping him move on. The truth is, Will and Dylan are not being honest with themselves. Because even though things seem okay on the surface, there is an attraction between Will and Dylan that is getting harder to ignore. Will, Dylan try to pretend it is not there, but the more they do, the stronger it gets. Dylan is careful for her part. She does not push Will. She does not flirt with him openly. Dylan listens to Will instead. She tells Will that his doubts are okay. Dylan makes herself the one person who really gets Will without judging him. This makes Dylan very important to Will. Dylan tells herself she is doing the thing. She thinks that if Will picks her someday, it will be because they really connect, not because she tricked him. Dylan knows that it is getting harder to tell if she is being patient or just planning what to do. Dylan knows the difference between waiting for something to happen and trying to make it happen is not very clear anymore. Electra wants to talk to Will. She goes into the conversation really calm. Electra has what Steffi said to her and her own thoughts to help her. Electra tells Will that she feels like she is being left out. She says that Will being close to Dylan makes her feel weird. Electra says it feels like they are doing something without asking her if it is okay. Will does listen to Electra. He gets defensive. He says that nothing bad is going on with him and Dylan. Will says that Dylan needs someone to talk to. Will tells Electra that she is thinking much about it. When Will dismisses what Electra says, it hurts her more than if he had just told her the truth. In that moment, Electra understands that her feelings are being looked at and they are not convenient for others. Electra sees that her emotions are a problem for people around her. This is a time for Electra because she is aware that her feelings are not important to them. Electra feels like her emotions do not matter when it comes to the people she cares about. Steffi thinks about what she said. It keeps playing in her mind. This is not because she is jealous of something. This is because of the boundaries that people should have. Will is going past those boundaries even if he does not want to admit that he is doing it. Steffi knows that Will is crossing her boundaries. The tension gets really bad when Electra sees something that she will never forget. Will and Dylan laughing together. They are standing close, sharing a joke that's just between them. You can tell that they have a lot of history and are very close. This is not a deal or anything shocking. It is a quiet moment between them. It hurts Electra deeply. She realizes that the connection between Will and Dylan is real. It is not something she imagined. It is actually happening. It is getting stronger. Electra sees that the bond between Will and Dylan is alive and it is growing. When Electra confronts Dylan directly, the conversation is really calm and scary at the time. Dylan does not say that the bond between her and the other person is not true. She does not say sorry for it either. She just says we understand each other. And when Electra hears those 4 words from Dylan, Electra knows what is really going on. This is something that Will has been too afraid to tell Electra. Now Electra sees that understanding between people like Dylan has become more important than being loyal to someone. The connection between people like Dylan has become more important than making a commitment to someone. Steffi is there with Electra after everything that happened. She does not back down. Steffi tells Electra that sometimes it is okay to walk from a situation. It does not mean you failed, it means you did not want to change who you are to make someone else happy. Electra is at a point where she has to make a decision. She can try to make things work with Will and deal with Dylan too. She can think about what Electra wants for Electra. Electra has to decide if Electra should keep fighting for Will or if Electra should focus on Electra. As for Will, the realization comes too late. When he finally sees the distance in Electra's eyes, the guardedness, the pain she no longer tries to hide, he understands the cost of his choices. He didn't cheat, but he betrayed her trust all the same. And Dylan, watching from the sidelines, feels both triumphant and terrified. Because bonding with Will has brought her closer than ever, but it's also put her directly in the path of fallout that could destroy them both. The days that come next are really tough because of all the things that are not being said. This tension is everywhere. It is in every conversation that Elektra has, and it is in every room she shares with someone. Elektra is trying to be strong. She is moving forward with a lot of determination, but deep down she is really hurting. She is not wondering if something is wrong anymore because what Steffi said made her realize that something is definitely not right. Now Elektra is asking herself how longer she can stay in a relationship where she feels like she does not matter, like she is just a small part of the story and not the main person. The story is. It is happening without Elektra having any say in it. Every smile that Will gives to Dylan feels sharper now. The words "she just needs support" do not mean much to Elektra anymore. Elektra does not get angry, yell at people. She does not tell them what to do or else. Instead, Elektra starts to watch what is going on around her. What she sees is very sad and it makes her feel very bad. It is like her heart is breaking. It is happening very slowly. Will is really confused. He thinks he is doing the thing by being calm and supportive to Dylan. He believes that this is the way to handle things after everything they have been through. Will tells himself that Elektra is just being uncomfortable and that it is no deal, that she will feel better when Dylan is fully okay, and takes a step back. The truth is, Will knows that is not true. He is just trying to convince himself that everything will be all right. Will is trying to be strong for Dylan. He is not really sure if he is doing the right thing. The thing that is bothering him is that he is not being honest with himself about how he feels. Will knows that he is just making excuses and that Elektra's discomfort is not just going to go. The truth is that things are really complicated and it is very disturbing. He feels like Dylan really understands him in a way that feels easy and honest. When he is with Elektra, he has to be careful about what he says because he does not want to scare her. With Dylan, he can say whatever he wants without thinking too much. This difference is small. It means a lot. Dylan feels the change too. She does not show it openly. It makes her feel strong in a quiet and scary way. When she and Will laugh together when they share feelings, it makes her think that they were always meant to be close. She thinks that she and Will are just finding their way back to how things were supposed to be. Dylan sees this as something that was meant to be, not as something that is getting in the way. She thinks of it as a connection, not as something they have to fight for. Because Will has not said no because he keeps coming around, she thinks he is okay with it. Not to rush, but to hope. Elektra finally gets to a point where not saying anything feels like she is being dishonest with herself. She asks Will to meet her at a place that is not connected to their work and not near Dylan. When they sit down together, the air between them feels really tense. Elektra does not blame Will for anything. She does not shout at him. She just tells him how she feels when she sees him creating something with another woman, even though he says it does not mean anything. Elektra says to Will, "I feel like I am standing outside of my relationship with you," and she says this in a very soft voice. "I am the one asking for bits of truth from you. You give her the real you without hiding anything. You share everything with her. I am just trying to get a little honesty from you." Will gets defensive, not because he's angry but because he wants to protect himself. He says again that there is nothing going on between him and Dylan, that he is just trying to be kind because Dylan has had a tough time. But when Elektra asks him a question, "Would you be okay if I shared that kind of bond with someone else?" he does not know what to say. The silence that follows says a lot. It tells Elektra that she is right about what's going on. Will is putting Dylan first. That is not just about being kind. He is getting close to Dylan. That is hurting Elektra. Will does not want to admit this. It is true. Elektra already knows what is happening with Will and Dylan. She knows that Will is taking care of Dylan and that this is becoming something. She knows that Will is denying what is really going on and that this denial is causing problems. Steffi is always there for Elektra, helping her through the times. Steffi does not tell Elektra what to do, but she helps her remember something: love should make you feel good, not unsure of yourself all the time. Steffi talks to Elektra about her life, about the time she did not listen to her feelings and ended up getting hurt. Steffi says when you have a feeling that just will not go away, it is because down you know something that you are scared to think about. This really makes sense to Elektra. Steffi and Elektra, they are talking about love and what it means to listen to yourself. Steffi is like an anchor for Electra always helping her to see things clearly. She begins to think about what her life would be like if she was not always waiting for something to happen. She pictures a woman who is not always watching and worrying about things that are outside of her control. This woman chooses to be at peace with herself of trying to be close to someone or something else. She chooses peace over being